in 1928, the transit company wanted to put on a parade of progress showing how they advanced up to the current modern streetcar of 1928 by showing examples of horse cars, early electric single truck vehicles, right up to what they had now. So they took this off the scrap line after it had served its purpose as an ice scraper. They put seats back in it. They put fake running boards on it, which these aren't the ones. This will actually, again, it's so heavy. This actually lifts up.
Come on.
No, it won't stay up.
Okay.
It was chained up a couple weeks ago because it won't clear going any deeper into number 2 track. But these are supposed to keep, with this down and this up, it keeps people from getting off the car and getting hit by a passing streetcar. But we have to keep this up if we want it. Put it, yeah, it's going to hit one of the vehicles. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Converted into a work vehicle. There's also a Philly snow sweeper back there. It's a big boxy green monster of a thing, and it's got brooms underneath of it that spin that blow the snow off the track. Last used in the early 70s. It's now 101 years old. We have YouTube videos of it blowing snow off the track. This guy in front of us. It's actually easier to see horse too.
I'm sorry.
In 1930, United Railways Electric Company ordered 150 of these cars. The first of the all-steel, almost the first of the steel cars. There were 2 before this. But 150 of these were built by the Grill Company of Philadelphia, and 50 were made by the Cincinnati Car Works, amazingly, in Cincinnati, Ohio. It boasts of fast acceleration, large capacity seating, leather seating, and smoking permitted in the rear 3 seats with the windows open and not sweating. Only our articulated cars also allow that. It's in for, well, we can still use it, but we don't want to wear the brakes out any further than they are. But if necessary, we use it. Last used in 1956. All but 2 were scrapped. This one and the other one went to a museum in Maine. Here we have an 1885 horse car. I don't know who does it say who built it? I don't really know who built this, but it was last used on the Green Line by Baltimore City Passenger Railway, which was Druid Hill Park down to Canton. This was taken off the streets around 1896 or 7 and replaced when they electrified the Green Line, which later became Route 5, I believe. And we used, the transit company put rubber tires on it so they could run it around for special events in a street that didn't have track. And we had 2 horses pull it in parades up until about 10 years ago. And we're deciding we're going to put the steel wheels back on and put it back on the track when we have a new car house. But that's going to be a while.
This was at the tray, like that street tray.
This is the front of a streetcar that somebody sawed off of that was abandoned. But, that's from what's called a semi-convertible. Let's maneuver around our spare PCC trucks. Philadelphia took delivery of. It is not an air compressor run car, it uses electric brakes. And it ran until about 2002, and we bought it in 2006. And a separate organization called Friends of Philadelphia Trolleys restored it and maintained it for us.
Okay.
They raise a lot of money, and they support Philadelphia cars at various New England museums. We're the furthest one south, and this was the first car they did in their various projects. All the St. Louis cars have this same problem.
Oh, wow.
We don't know where the water gets in, but every single one of them is doing this. And they eradicate it and it comes right back.
Might be the design or something. How it's built and it's like
Yeah,
collecting
they
or something.
removed it once and it came back.
Yeah.
Runs like when this ran in Philadelphia, the Baltimore group of guys, me included, we would charter a PCC for New Year's Eve and ride around and celebrate the new year. And this car was used at least twice in some of those trips. The big green truck was built by Auto Car. They weren't in the passenger car business. They were in more trucks and pickups and things. This is an overhead line truck from 1952. The platform on the top was made mostly of wood. It hydraulically lifts and allows transit company employees to make emergency wire repairs overhead in the street while it's energized, because the rubber tires isolate you from ground. So, and also that's why the platform is wood. We just used it to hang those lights outside recently. The transit company was using it to change light bulbs in former car houses that now house buses. And the last trolley barn was abandoned, probably 15 years ago, so they painted it up and gave it to us. Our next contestant on The Price is Right it was a yellow line horse car built by Baltimore City Passenger Railway in 1885 approximately, in their in-house, in their shops up at Druid Hill Park. The building still exists. I don't know what they're using it for. Pulled by two horses. It's pretty big for a horse car when you compare it to the ones over there. However, in 1891, Baltimore City Passenger, as well as Baltimore Traction Company, experimented with cable cars. Baltimore City Passenger, being the first horse car franchise granted in Baltimore in 1859, decided to make this a trailer on the cable car on the Blue Line. By making this a trailer, you increase seating capacity, so it's like a two-car train. The other vehicle had the grip unit that when you turn the wheel, this thing would squeeze the underground moving cable and pull the car down the street at a fixed speed. The Charles Theater up here on Charles Street was the car house and the powerhouse for the north and the south cables on the Blue Line. The red line was Gay Street, Baltimore Street, and the white line, I think, was Madison Avenue down to Canton. In 96 or 7, they decided to electrify the green line, putting that other car over there out of business. They painted this one green, and they put the trolley pole, wiring, controllers, and these big giant trucks with motors under it instead of the simple little wheels and axles. So this became an electric car used probably up to the teens. When all the transit companies were merged into one, the one company inherited a bunch of oddball equipment from all the other companies, because not everybody ordered from the same manufacturer. So this went into work service, which is how it survived to the end. Let's continue on.
Yeah.
Good. And there's our guy there. Power is off on track 2.
Thank you.
And I got the rig all ready for you. Let's continue on. The best is yet to come. Do you mind this big chunk of rail sticking out from the wall here? I haven't. Oh, these castings here. These are from the blue cable car line. The cable would go through this trough here, and this is what held the rails fixed like a tie. But the cable would go through here, and that's a pulley, which would be like this, turning like this to support the cable. When they knocked out part of Charles Street near Penn Station, they discovered these. They knew what they were, so they gave them to us. More were found on Baltimore Street from the Red Line, but they were too badly busted up.
That's cool.
Later. Let's go across the bridge here.
You see this?
The hole in the ground is obviously the work pit where we work on the undersides of the vehicle. Because on some vehicles, most of the electronics are underneath. The big red open car here is in for a brake job. Where is the bad brake? Here we have one severely worn brake shoe. And here's the replacement. That's a little bit bigger. There's the other one.
Do they still make those? Or you just have to.
We have them cast for us by a foundry. We have a small foundry. I don't know if we can handle something that big. Maybe. I don't know. But the bigger they are, it has to go out for someone else to do it. Built in 1902 by Borough of Philadelphia. It carried two numbers in its life. Its original number is 2458, used on the Spurs Point line. And then in 1905, assigned Route 10. So it would be a 1000 and 1100 series number because they had more than 100 cars on the line. We have three Route 10 Roland Park to Highlandtown cars, this one, that one, and the trackless trolley that's up here. The yellow looking bus is a trackless trolley. It uses two trolley poles because it needs two wires for positive and negative. The poles are extra long, allowing the driver to pull over to the curb to pick you up at the sidewalk. And also to maneuver around double parked cars, etc. Still in use in several U.S. cities today. That one was built in 1940 by Pullman in Worcester, Massachusetts. It was used from 1940 until 1959 when they got rid of the remaining of the 6 trackless trolley lines. You bought this in 1902, but you couldn't use it in the winter. So they made them a package deal. They sold them 110 of these, which is the winter version. Originally open platform like this car. They enclosed the platform to make it better on the motor. These cars, this is our newest Brownell, built in 1900, originally car 814, ran on the 8 line, Towson to Catonsville, the longest line in the city. These panels here actually went all the way around to here and stopped, no step. This forced you to get on and off at the back platform, where the conductor would take your fare, ring the bell twice, and off you went. In 1905, the city insisted more exit paths in case of derailments, fire, or accidents. So they cut the metal and added the extra step. Same with that one, that one. The open cars were always not that way. This car we're taking back to what's called the wraparound dasher. This is the one that's in restoration at the moment. This is our middle Brownell child, built in 1898. There is the new dasher over there, which will wrap all the way around and come to here. Notice the inside of the controller here. The guys have just gone ridiculously overboard with making things that the public will never see because it's covered, making it look pretty. And for the first time in this car's life, it has its sander levers back, which dumps sand on the track for traction. And boy, did we use sand yesterday with the light rain. Built in 1898, ran pretty much exclusively on the 10 line, Roland Park to Highlandtown, and became a work car. Most of these either became trailers on Route 2 to Fort McHenry. Some were used as trailer pushers, or towers, or pullers. At the end of rush hour, they would disconnect the trailer off the back end of a 1 or 2 car train, and then this would go out in the street, hook up to the trailer, and pull it into the car house. So they were given, as well as the green one up front, stronger motors, just like the open car outside. That has stronger motors, or more powerful motors in it. This is owned by the Baltimore Consolidated Company, yet another transit company existing. They only lasted 1 year. Well, they lasted longer, but this car only ran under Consolidated colors for a year because 1899 was the big merger. And it's going to be Tuscan red with a white bottom and red, black, and silver leaf letters. I've seen some samples of it. It looks great. And it's a zippy little car. It does fly. This 1900 car, built by Brownell, was under Brill control. Brill bought out Brownell the year before. And they made 55 of these. Then Brill made 50 of these in 1901 to the exact blueprints. They loved this car so much because Brownell had this pattern where the door was close to the step. You had to put the step on. That 1 or 2 footsteps less to get on and off the car. The accelerator door pattern, that's what it was called. So Brill wanted this design, and of course, well, this is Brownell, but the Brills also had the off-center door, because you only got in from this curb side. This is called a convertible car. This was an answer to this open and closed cars. This car has 24 windows. Each window you have to remove 18 screws by hand. Then you had to find a place to store these 24 windows. And then you have 105 of these cars. That's 46,000 screws you've got to remove by hand.
That's a lot of
Store all
screws.
this glass. When this comes out, the side of the frame of the window is marked 816, because that's, no, 814 was its original number. And window number, this would probably be window number 1. This may not fit here or another car. That's because they're all custom made. So, when this car had its number changed 3 times, you had to have a cross-reference somewhere to know where this window is and what car it belongs to. Hence, we'll show you. That car's original number is 1615, which is Madison Avenue line. And it's window number 8, which is the one right here in the corner. That's next in the line for restoration as soon as we finish this one. I've been here 51 years and that car has never moved because the transit company stole the wheels out from under it to build another car, a work car. And they put a set of trucks or wheel sets under it that's mismatched. We have since obtained the correct trucks. They're up in another building. So we'll have wheels for it when it's time to be restored. We can tow it around, that's about it. The orange car outside and that one are exactly the same, except this was never modernized with air brakes and the ends weren't enclosed. It was always open. They had 150 of these and 54 of them received the treatment that that orange car out there had, where it was turned into a one-man car with air brakes. Morning. Morning. 554 is getting some seat repair. 554? Yeah. A piece of wood had broken off. And I know why, so I'm going to fabricate what's needed to take care of it. Now, what do you do when you need a metal part? There it is. the graffiti covered building halfway up the line, that's our machine shop. All the wood stuff is done in the back. But for metal, this used to be on this car. What this thing does is when you turn it, it raises and lowers this so they can adjust the height of the hood when they put this portable windshield back on it for winter use. When you remove it, and you probably don't want to make the adjustment, but the problem is over years water gets in here and rusts the screw threads. So I'm going to need 8 for this car and 8 for that one. But the little open car outside has new ones, and this one has new ones. The shop made these. Put all new screw threads on the poles. Same with every one of these. All reworked. The shop made the levers because these were gone when this went into work service. So they do some amazing stuff. I think that's about it. Any questions?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The open car, that one would have only been used in the summer, right?
Exactly. That's why they bought 110 of these closed cars and 110 of the open cars. But they only bought enough set of wheels to run one or the other. So during the summer, this winter car would be sitting on shop trucks while its year-round trucks would be running under the summer car. As soon as it gets cold, that would come in, they put the trucks under that one and use it.
And now what's the difference between those two and this one?
This one, you just remove the windows. The windshield would come off, these windows would drop down, and these would come out.
Ah, okay.
And this ran for 19 years.
Oh,
Its last assignment was Route 2, Fort McHenry to Drew Hill Park. Whew. And we've had it as an open car a couple of times. It's probably going to be an open car next year because I would need to remove the windows to have them refinished because they're getting crappy. This car hadn't been painted since 1968. It's looking pretty dismal. Just finished the metal dasher, so just pretend the whole car looks like this. Alrighty, let's head out because it's getting hot.
Oh, yes, yes.
The next car is going out with
All right, all right.
Oh, the big gray thing here ran in Minneapolis, St. Paul, then it was sold to Newark, New Jersey, and it was built in 1948. And Newark, New Jersey stopped using this in 2001. Of the 30 cars they had, about half went to San Francisco, the other half went to museums. This is our second one of these New Jersey cars. We sold the first one to San Diego.
Big yeah.
It just came back from the paint shop.
Oh, let's look. That's nice.
I was too
So hot myself for you.
Yeah.
Right, I'm staying back there. Okay.
That's what Granddad is stuck in. No. The Boondocks, Granddad.
Oh,
And that was
he thought
bus.
it was 3 cars.
He was stuck in the bus.
Oh,
Free
okay.
bus. It wasn't quite a big yellow cheese, but it looked more like that than it did a big cheese.
Make sure we don't step in oil.
Yeah.
It is the hardest thing to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wheel needed lubrication.
Wheel and